And we're back, and you are listening to Villain Cast, BJJ Antiheroes, with myself, Chris the Villain Paynes, and Naki El Jefe Arshed. And welcome to Reap the Week. Firstly, a thank you to our sponsors, the lovely patrons on Patreon. Thank you for believing in all of this work we're now creating. And if you'd like to learn more about supporting this channel, along with receiving exclusive content, such as the new episodes of How to Defend Everything 3.0, along with personal one-to-one coaching, you can find out more via chrispaynesbjj.com. Good evening, Naki. It's been a few days.
Good evening. Yes, it has.
It's only been 2 days, but
I know, it feels like a lifetime.
It does, doesn't it?
We had a war.
I felt broken after our last roll. It was it was. I think you said to me during the roll, like, "Oh, you feeling competition ready?" I was like, "No, I'm just trying to survive. Like, I'm just trying not to die." That was the pace. Like, "Oh, you're feeling competition good?" Like, no, just try not to get my head kicked in mostly. So last week we opened up the mailbag to everyone, not just the Discord members. The Discord members it exploded, the amount of people signing up for that. So if you are interested in like carrying on the conversation with people also interested in this type of training, there are links dotted around to the Discord channel, or just message me. I can send you the link. If you are listening to this on Spotify or Apple or Google or wherever you get your podcast from, if you go to the YouTube video for this, there is a link to the Discord channel there. Or you can find it via my Instagram. There's a link tree with the Patreon, Fanatics releases, YouTube channel, etc., etc. But yeah, it's been a fantastic week for those questions and those conversations, Nak. I think you went onto the Discord channel. You were like, "The fuck is happening?"
Yeah. I just kept getting notifications. Someone's jumped in the server. I was like, "I've got to check this out. What's going on? What have we done?"
Oh, dude, tell me about it. Like, it blew up. I'm amazed that it's a good couple of hundred members at least on there right now.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic for such a niche little channel.
Little community.
Yeah, exactly. It's lovely. Especially like all the ideas and the kind of friendships that have grown from it, and people like co-training together. I really like that there's taken on a life of its own.
Yeah, it has.
But also, we released a couple of new videos. We started recording again. We using new equipment, new cameras, new microphone setups. It was so much easier, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was. It was fantastic. So
compared to where we started from, it was like so good to see how quickly we can get up and going, and the uploading, everything's fixed.
Yeah, exactly. It was we could just. I think I had everything uploaded and ready before I even left the gym. And the quality was awesome. Go fix the audio a little bit, make it a bit louder. But thanks for the feedback on that to those who have mentioned. But yeah, we've started to release new videos. We looked at balance, looked at the bottom leg, which I think is critical. It also means that we could add a bit more to the Patreon easier. So there's going to be way more videos on that. The idea last week of the documentary, that became popular. That resulted in some messages. And
that's going to be a good one.
The book. So yeah, I've had messages on that idea as well. Like plenty of people reaching out. Thank you for all that. Yeah, so thanks for the fucking workload. So what I may do is for those on the Patreon, for like blue belt and up, if this book happens, which I hope it will, those kind of people, I'll send you a advanced copy for free for being fantastic supporters on the Patreon channel. So that might bite me in the ass at some point, but no, it's yeah. So anyone who's been supporting this work and helping me make the jump to doing this and investigating, not investigating, but spending more time thinking about jiu-jitsu and how to teach people and coach and spend time coaching people. Like, yeah, obviously, any way I can thank you guys. So yeah, when this book happens, 3 copies in your direction.
Bingo.
Also, as of tomorrow, we're going to be back recording again, so expect more videos over the weekend. But plugging his new channel, Naki is also going to be releasing his own content. We're going to be filming it side by side, but we'll do a quick costume change.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you're going to be releasing some stuff. So have you got any thoughts you want to release on that, or is it a secret for now?
We'll see. I think we won't have one thing. I think I'm going to look at a few things. I want to do techniques as well, but I want to take the piss out of some of the shit out there.
Yeah, I liked your idea that you gave me earlier. I was like, damn, why you not told me this like years? Like, I would have ran with it.
I was just sitting there. As soon as he asked me, I was like, he's asking me. I'm like, I got to do technique or something. And I was like, oh shit, nobody's doing this yet. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I liked it. So yeah, absolutely. Please check out Naki's Instagram and his new YouTube channel, which I'm sure he will link and post all about when it arrives.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to. I mean, that's the thing. I remember, when I gave you your brown belt, is I said that, anyone who gets a brown belt in my eyes is someone who is a black belt. You just haven't built your legacy yet, and pretty much since you've got your black belt, brown belt, I've been trying to like assist with your legacy, like putting you in front of people and in those conversations. And it's nice that you're now taking that next step and doing your own thing. You don't need me anymore. Like, we help each other.
Yeah.
The same thing I gave you your black belt. I was like, you've got your freedom now, and any way I can assist you as a colleague, as you have me for so long now. Which it's paid off.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, back to the questions. So we have had people reaching out. Thank you. If you want to ask questions, I always put a little post on my Instagram stories. Message them just to me in general. I'll see if I can remember it. The Discord channel, I always go through that. There are going to be some videos. People have requested various things that we can't really talk about on here, but there will be videos going up. We'll probably go, I don't know what your plans are, Nak, but after class tomorrow, we may be there for a good couple of hours. No,
I've cleared it because I know we've got work to do.
Good. We're gonna be there into the late hours of the night, I think, making some stuff. So if by the end of the later videos look a bit sketchy, with 2 irritated and tired guys, you know why? It was probably done at 1 a.m. Anyway, so we released the video on balance, and it went down pretty well for content we've kind of made so far. And one thing that we're going to be making, one of the videos that will be coming out, is previously we were talking about techniques and ideas. We kind of left it open with how people could train them. Now there's going to be more ways of like interpreting this and how to bring this into your training. And so there was a question we had on how to include balance into training, how to make drills for this. So please check out over the weekend. There'll be a video released on incorporating balance into your training. We're also looking at a breakdown of Vim's mirroring principle, which I'm excited for that. But the first one then, which is definitely up your street, Nak, is what are your thoughts on cradles?
Oh, cradles. I love them. They're not easy to get, but anytime I do get an opportunity, I will cradle someone because it's you can hold them there. It's hard to submit, but you can deliver some pain. You can slow the game down, start dictating the pace of the match again if it is going that way. Yeah, I love them. If I can find them, I'll go for them. Usually when people are pandaing or when they're transitioning between panda and turtle is the time I'll get them. But yeah, they're not easy to get though, and they're hot. Like people will work to get out and they'll take their time as well. So, in a match, I think you could run the clock down a bit.
As you're talking then, I just had this image in my head of, you get the feeling that we're like Goldie and Rogan. Like, you're like the color commentator. I'm just like feeding you stuff and you like come in with these like crazy ways of interpreting it. You're the Rogan to my Goldie. I'm not Helwani. Like, bring back Goldie. For anyone who's been watching UFC more than a couple of years, how long has it been since Goldie left?
Oh, a few years now. A few years. I think 2017, 16, something like that.
That's mad, isn't it? You're like a blue belt,
Yeah,
man.
that's just off the top. Yeah.
But yeah, Cradles, surprising actually, I think it goes into, so we're going to be releasing a video, oh my god, we're making so much, on posture and unaligning the spine, which I think is very critical. And part of that, if you tie someone's head to their leg, you have very much fucked up their spine. So I think they're definitely a cooking position. Like I say, I wouldn't really submit someone like that. I mean, I have been submitted like that just because someone tried to see if they could fit my kneecap through my eye socket. Spoilers, it was going there. So, it was rather uncomfortable. But yeah, I think as a general rule, so it's like from standing, there's a few times where if I get a like a front headlock on someone, I'll drop down and cradle their head to their leg before I take them over. There's always a benefit if you're going to wrap up someone's spine that hard and get a successful Gable grip or S grip or something like that, which is quite hard to break, especially when you're trying to use such a fucked up spine. They definitely have a fantastic place, and it's again one of those things that I think when we start to look at how to defend everything for 3.0, which is essentially where we're kind of going with the YouTube content right now, and it's being trialed through Patreon. They kind of get all my weird ideas first, is trying understanding about the alignment of spine. So you can manipulate someone else's, but also hide make sure you are aware of your own, and so you don't get stuck in these awful situations.
Yeah.
And making sure that you don't end up with scenarios where, yeah, absolutely, your posture was you've already ruined your own posture enough that they can find a cradle, that you're unaware how important your posture is. That's part of defense. Same with balance. It's not just fucking up someone else's, looking at it in a offensive way that you have to take action on someone else's, but also just looking after your own. It's a form of defense. But yeah, so I think Cradle's kind of the end product of that. It's a symptom of the disease, shall we say?
Yeah.
Next question, which I can't. So they didn't elaborate on this. It was. I didn't get any follow up. Not that I saw. How do you feel playing against a conservative opponent who's just pinning you and isn't like pushing the attack?
To be honest, I don't know, because like if you're on the bottom, you're defending, you're stuck, so you should be one creating motion or something to create movement. I mean, if the top guy is doing a good job pinning you, then yeah, of course, the goal is submission at the end of the day. But I think the bottom person needs to be creating motion to get space and forcing the top guy to play rather than just getting flat and not defending properly.
I think that kind of goes into the wider conversation of a pin is still a loss. And
in jiu-jitsu?
Yeah. As in, not like, if you look at it from a sense of, if it's submission only, like, yeah, absolutely. Like, it'd be annoying to have someone not kind of pushing the pace and just getting stuck there. But being pinned is, you're still losing. Like, it's not like if you're saying to me, oh, this person's just pinning me, you lost. If you can't get out, it's another loss. Oh shit. Again, unless you kind of say, right, I'm not getting out of that. Can we restart again? Just take that as a loss. And it's funny how, and shout out if this has ever happened to you, where things aren't legitimate submissions, like they don't fall into the regular menu available, people won't tap to them. And a fine example of this is horrendous side control pressure through the ribs. The amount of people who, because I have a pretty renowned side control for how I hold people's it's not even like a normal side control. I don't go around the head. It's not head and arm. It's arm and arm. Weird. But I I've heard those cracking noises from people's ribs, and I said, why didn't you tap? And so because it wasn't a submission. Like, yeah, it was. Well, no, it wasn't supposed to be. But if you're in pain, like, and something feels like it's about to get obliterated, tap. Yeah, okay, I'm not arm barring you or leg locking you or choking you. I'm just obliterating. Like people who get stuck in like scorpion crunches from guard when they have their ribs getting crushed. It's like, if it hurts, tap. What's wrong with you? And it's the same with this. Like, oh, it's not a submission. It wasn't a real win. You lost. If you can't get out, if that person has successfully wrapped you up enough that nothing you do will work and you can't move at all, you lost. You got apprehended.
Improve your defense.
Yeah, I guess it's annoying just having someone lying on you, especially if there's a big size advantage. Like that has to be taken into consideration. Again, I think a very important video we have to make, and we did talk about it in one of the ones released over the weekend. I'm pretty sure we did. Is changing of gym culture and understanding that if a big person fights a small person, it's the lies of jiu-jitsu. It's a small person isn't supposed to beat a bigger person. It's marketing hokum. I never thought I'd use the word hokum on a podcast. Yeah, it's bollocks. It's there to sell, and completely ignoring the idea that a larger person will beat a bigger person most of the time, if they can generate more power than the small person. You have to use genuine magic sometimes to win as a smaller person. And then say if you're like a smaller purple belt and a larger blue belt's kicking your ass, you're like, oh, well, I'm a purple belt, I should win. Like, no, you don't. Sorry. Like, the marketing lied to you. It's why we have weight divisions, to make it fair. And in the absolute division of a gym, if that's where you are competing against each other, it's not fair. And if a big person's lying on you, shouldn't have gone to the ground. should have fought harder to not fall on the floor. Like, anytime I fought anyone who is bigger than me, I can use two examples of brown belts from the camps I've just been at. So when I was in the Germany camp, I fought a big brown belt, and I thought, there is no way on God's earth I want to be under him. So I fought tooth and nail to stay upright. It was fucking hard. Smaller guy beat the bigger guy because the small guy was frantically not getting pinned. It was like a cornered rat. Same time, I fought a brown belt at the USA camp. Roughly the same size, same belt. Happened to be a high school wrestler. He fucked my life up. But he's big, like, he's bigger than me, and he kept me pinned to the floor. What else am I supposed to fucking do? I ain't looking at him and go, well, you're a brown belt. I've been a black belt for 4 years. Like, no, I just got my ass handed to me by a bigger dude. Like, I'm not going to sit there like, oh, jiu-jitsu failed me. Like, no, it didn't. I got my ass handed to me by a big guy. Oh, well. Stop being a prissy bitch. Yeah, so conservative opponents. But if you look at that as like Tories, I like it looking at it that way. What do you do against Tory opponents?
Fuck them up, mate.
I won't. I'm not going to go into that. If anyone who's unaware what a Tory is, they are
scum.
Words I'm not using, Naki. I'm taking the high. I'm Goldie. You're Rogan.
Fuck them, mate. If it's anyone, you should take the piss out of them. If there's any type of human being, you should take the piss out of.
You can definitely. So I'm ex-firefighter, union individual. So I am as working class as they come. I am militantly left at times. So I cannot go down these roads. Next question, because we've been releasing so much content recently on different ways of training. It's just, again, like, if anyone who isn't unaware of this, like, I don't really show shit at all at class anymore, and everyone's so much happier.
Let us fight.
Pardon?
Just let us fight.
Yeah. Feels like that guy from like the Godzilla meme, like, let them fight. um, yeah, that's exactly how I feel. Like, just I give you the structure, and then I let you make and create your own problems and solve the problems with the structure. And everyone, like you said the other day, one of our blue belts was causing you mischief. I know the feeling. Like even the postural work I've been doing. I was on with Jake in the ring, and yeah, I was like, this dude is either on those the special juice,
Yeah,
or he's just hard to shift now.
yeah.
Man, yeah, I
They
felt
all
it.
are, man. Fucking, I rolled with Archie today. He come to the open mat, and I said to
Oh,
him, "Have you seen Chris recently?" And he looked at me and he says, "Yeah, I had a private on Monday." I goes, "No fucking wonder. I'm trying to fucking sweep you, and you just there like this." Had to wrestle fuck him a bit.
I know. And he's a white belt who doesn't know what guard is.
Yeah.
That's so frustrating.
Hello, man.
If I was to say to you, like, imagine like when you were a white belt, and I'm throwing you around the room when you started. I was like, when you get your black belt, you won't be able to do this. The white belt's gonna kill you. You'd be like, fuck off.
Fuck this sport.
I never get my revenge. Like, I never get to carry on this weirdness. Like, no, sorry. They're gonna be a pain in the ass for you.
It's
And
good.
yeah,
It's good.
I'm happy.
They only make us better. Yeah, they only make us better.
And that's I think a really important idea of not as in it's one of the reasons why I mean I went down this path for teaching the way I teach is because I was orphaned from being taught jiu-jitsu 14 years ago, and the only way I was only ever going to get better was by the people with me. And so it was always a case of, right, I'll give you everything I've got. I'll give you everything I am capable of. I want you to kick my ass. It's the only way I'm going to get better. And so being able to constantly think, like, what am I doing? Where am I at? How can I translate this to other people to make them as good as fast as possible? I actually remember once, I actually think it was when Jake left the first time. We were main training partners. Our coaches had left, and we were pretty one for one with each other. We were really good rivals and friends. And and then he left, and I was like, fuck. Like, the one person who gives me a hard time is gone. The fuck am I going to do? And so, and then someone who of a very similar build walked in. I was like, shit, I need to get this guy up as fast as possible to that level. And he then got there, and he became another partner I had an absolute mischief with. And it's the exact same with all of you. I just think if we can bring everyone up, it makes us all better. And I think that's a really important message of team culture, of don't be out for yourself. It's when you have people who are out for themselves, people get hurt. It's more important to flip the script a little bit and go, no, actually, I'm going to give my best for the team, knowing that if I do that, it'll make me better. But I'm here for the team. Yeah, I think that's important.
No, very important.
Yeah. So, what to do if your school is stuck in the old ways?
Fuck them off. Go find somewhere else. No, I'm joking. What I would do is I'd keep going training, and obviously you got to respect your coach. You got to respect what they're teaching, and if you want to take part, take part. But do your own thing as well when you're rolling. Do the postures. Nobody's going to stop you saying. The first thing you're going to get told is you're annoying now, especially if you start playing the defensive stuff first. But I think somebody asked me that question a few months back, and that's what I said to him. I said, look, you try to find open mat time if you can, because that's where you can really start experimenting with stuff. But in class, no training is not better than training. It's training time. If you can't get anywhere, to train with some people who have new, if you want to call it new school methods, I think.
I think kind of carrying on from that is the idea that it's the other people around you that make you better. Like the whole thing about like not allowing people to play guard was to make everyone else better, not you better. If that makes sense. the logic behind it, and we said it in the first video, where we're here to ruin jiu-jitsu, of if you are happy to play guard and lose your balance and go into your back, sweeping is easy, but you come across someone who doesn't want to go to their back and doesn't want to fall over, you realize sweeping is hard. And you've been lied to. Your partners were lying to you. They were making you feel good about yourself by flopping onto their backs for you. And all of a sudden you come across some fucker who doesn't want to. And you're like, oh shit, I suck. And so I think I don't believe in creating little cliques in the gym. We've had that problem.
Yeah. I
think there has to be a definite team mentality. But if you're going to have this information that you think is beneficial, share it. And if we're not introducing new techniques, which I think is really critical here. It's like, we're literally just saying to you, don't fall over. Have good posture. Keep your elbows and knees tight. Like, nothing, I'm not saying like, do these new fandangled wrestles or get, jump to your feet all the time. It's like, no, if there's an opportunity to get upright. Make them have to hold you down. I'm not saying stand up. I'm on about get upright. That means, have your head above your hips. Like, be in a normal human-looking stance of being upright, having your legs underneath you. And so it's not like it's a massive departure. But you have to kind of like have people who are willing to work on that with you. Again, if we used to use the analogy of, imagine if you were a boxing gym and everyone was okay with getting hit in the face. You're going to think your punches are wicked. And then you get told, how about you cover your face? Like, yeah, okay, fine. You're going to cover your face. Fantastic. Great for you. You're not getting punched anymore. But your ability to attack is still shit because you're punching everyone who's happy getting hit in the face and you're out for yourself again. You have to, rising tide, everyone, get a few people to go, actually, how about a few of us, can you just hide your face as well? I want to see what happens. Oh shit, I can't punch your face anymore. That's weird. How odd. And then you get to bounce his ideas around. And, if it works, if the shit works, if you're playing with it and people are getting curious, like, share the information. I think that's really important. Like, there has to be that team mentality. And it's so easy to not have, like, look into your heart and see, am I actually part of a team or just a group of people out for themselves and we just happen to work in the same building? I think, yeah, that's probably one of the most important lessons in jiu-jitsu is team and not just group of people under the same banner, which is what it mostly always feels like. Everyone's happier now. I like this next one. How do we feel about robbing liquor stores? Committed attacks.
Mate.
Rolly shit.
Since my last defeat, all I've done is discipline. I haven't robbed no liquor stores, mate. When we rolled on Monday, did you see me rob any liquor stores? Mate, it was a war. Like, we beat the hell out of each other, but none of us. If either of us went to rob a liquor store, we were getting done. We both knew that.
Yeah, and I think that's it takes all the fucking fun and flair out of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, I watched it back and I was like, this is just so basic. There's nothing flashy going on, you know what I mean? But we were so fucked at the end of it as well. I was like, oh my God, that was a war.
I think Ryan Hall, again, the liquor store analogy is one of Ryan's, but he said it really well, I think, on one of his podcasts or something he was on, an interview or whatever, where he was on about how if you're playing off your back, and I'm gonna extrapolate and add to this, if you're playing guard, there's the assumption that you're better than the other person, in that they have gravity, power, and posture and mobility on their side. If they're on top, you don't have those things. That's why guard. I said this today in a private. Jiu-jitsu became the cult of the guard. It's there because you fucked up. You're about to get your head kicked in. Like, we have the guard to stop our heads getting kicked in, but it became this cult of the guard because you started fighting people who were easily beaten with it. then we think, oh, it's this amazing thing. No, it's not. Come across one person who has really good balance and you're going to get fucked up, aka a wrestler. Give them a little bit of submission knowledge and you're done. Sorry, God shit. Don't be on your floor. It's bad at plan. And Ryan said it years ago of if there's a skill disparity, you can overcome someone's mobility, gravity, and skill by lying on your back. Yeah, fuck it, play guard. But if you're against anyone of equal skill, they have the advantage by being on top. And so, if you're going to throw away your balance and posture, it better be because there's a skill disparity. Like otherwise, because if this fucks up, and this is the idea of the liquor store, is that you're doing something desperate for potential reward, but very high risk. And if it fucks up, you get shot in the face. And that's the thing, like, you've got to make those choices of, am I going to go for this spinning shit that my back hits the ground? It could work. If there's a massive skill disparity or whatever, awesome, fantastic. And you get to have your back on the floor and it looks cool, great, good for you. But if it goes wrong, don't blame us, blame yourself. And that's why I think having the ability to get back up and get to your feet and feel comfortable there. I mean, we're both black belts. I mean, we've both been training. I've been training a lot longer than you. And I don't feel my balance is good. My posture isn't good.
Same.
It's not where it needs to be.
No,
I feel
it's not complete.
No, I feel like I have so much more growth in that area. When I have that knowledge that I can just always get back up, no matter what happens, I can return to my feet and be invincible that way. Maybe I'll start playing more flashy again. Yeah.
Might do full circle, but we'll have them fundamentals, properly polished now.
But also, like, again, I'm really stepping away from the idea of flashy shit. It's a problem because then I also look at it thinking, if I do flashy shit, then I'm robbing someone else of good training. Like,
There is that as well.
If I don't do the right thing by them, and we talked about the whole football analogy, is that I have to do the right thing by those people to make them better. I'm not here for my fucking self. I'm here to make someone else better. And by making them better, I, by side effect, get better because I have to try and stop them. And the second I start doing flashy shit again and doing the wrong thing by them, I'm robbing them of good training. I'm kicking the ball over their head. Fuck them. Like, and it's back to that communist regime, man, for the good of the state. The villain cares about his underlings. But I think it's true. Like, again, like, maybe it's taken all the fun out of jiu-jitsu, and maybe if I go to camps and stuff, I'll play mad shit again. But for the time being, I suck too much at the fundamentals, and I can't I have to do the right thing for everyone else to make everyone else better, so they're getting honest training out of me.
I feel like that sometimes as well. Like, it's no point trying, like, submitting them 5 times in 2-3 minutes. Like, there's no point. Nobody's learning anything. You're just showing off, like, oh, I can do this and I can do that, blah blah blah.
Well, like the fact you can just do I'm guilty of fucking doing it. I know I am, but knowing I can just do some wild spinning shit and still land it just because I'm better. Yeah. Great, fantastic. But would you, if I can do some wild ass spinning shit, would I then go play that at black belt? No. I'll get killed. I think that's also, like, I remember Christian Graugot saying this. I think it was at one of the first camps. It would be like 2013. I'm not sure if it made it to the end interview, but I was there for, like, the filming of it. Is he said that, you look at every other belt you're at, white belt, blue belt, purple belt, all the coloured belts. You're going to competition against someone who maybe 1 year ish around your experience, above and below. So you're always roughly with someone of roughly the same experience as you, and you got similar weight, similar age, similar everything else. But then you go to black belt. I'm pretty sure that you could go into a competition and be against someone like Andre Galvao. And you think, am I going to try and do spinny shit on Andre Galvao? No
chance.
no, I don't want to. I don't want to get murdered. And that's another thing that Ryan said. Like, eventually when you realize that when the pool gets that deep, all of a sudden, like, black belt's a very deep belt.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. And I think, no, all the time for spinning shit has stopped. I can spin shit against lower belts. Cannot do mad shit now because I'll get murdered. I have to have the honest, purest training, which is exactly what you said the other day. Like, oh, you feeling competition ready? Like, no, I'm fighting another black belt. I don't have time for stupid shit. Because I'll get my head kicked in.
I was going to say, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Exactly. Like, it's supposed to be a fighting art, not showing off. It's supposed to be effective combat, efficiency. Not, woo! What's this? Which is what it became. Not decrying it. I am very guilty of, I know some wild spinning shit. But would I play it against a black belt? No. I choose life. Any thoughts on that?
On the whole black belt thing?
Yeah.
No, I agree with it. It is a massive pool. It don't mean shit in the grand scheme of things, especially when you're new black belt, because it's just like when I went to that Amsterdam camp, I was like, oh yeah, I might be able to pull some tricks off here, but you know what I mean? Just had to stick to the fundamentals and stick to, keeping myself safe. I couldn't go for any spinny shit on anyone really. It was too risky.
No, I won't build my game on. And it's funny as well because I know, like, it's easy when you're new to see, like, dude, 14 years of doing this, the amount of times I've had, like, new white belts come up to me and go, oh, you heard this guy called Eddie Bravo? I'm like, yes, I have. And they start doing lockdown and twisters and all this kind of roly poly, like, oh, dude, you heard this, the Bolo Berim? Like, what? I've heard of it, yes. And so all that shit, like, because people see the flashy shit that you're capable of in jiu-jitsu because you don't need a lot of agility or coordination to pull a lot of cool shit off. But the higher up you go, all that kind of nonsense just gets shaved off, and you just want pure, detailed efficiency. Like, absolutely. And you talk about fundamentals. And I think this is going to be an interesting video to make, and it's going to be forming the documentary essentially. Is what is a fundamental? Is it guard? No. Is it side control? No. Fundamentals are balance, posture, alignment, leverage, positioning, being upright, getting back to your feet. These are all fundamentals. Not letting someone pass your kneecaps. Controlling the inside space, controlling the center line. All massive fundamentals. Closing the front door when you're standing, how to stand properly with posture. These are all fundamentals.
On the floor.
Exactly. Having an angle to pull your bottom free. Bottom leg and bottom arm. These are all the fundamentals, and these are all I give a shit about. Someone comes up to me and says, oh, I've seen this half octopus bolo squirrel guard. Fuck yourself. I care about these fundamentals because these are the things that I'm going to win with. These are the things that are going to make me better. Your half octopus squirrel inverted nonsense, not that useful, unfortunately.
Yeah. I know, I agree with that. And it's fun, like, it's not boring. You'd think it's boring, but it's not. Like, I look forward to every session thinking, oh, I'm going to improve this today, going to improve that today. Let's see what my body, how it reacts today.
I think the rising tide makes it more interesting because then everyone just gets better. Like, if you know that everyone else in the gym sucks at sweeps and wrestling up, yeah, it would be boring. But if all of a sudden everyone's catching up and giving you absolute misery from the bottom, you're like, oh shit, like, I've really got to work on my balance now. Yeah, that makes it more interesting. It's fantastic. I'm never bored. Like, every roll, I'm like, and it makes it interesting with every belt. It's not like when I've realized I was putting on weight because I could use magic to beat people. In the rolls, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to sub you 5-6 times, make this boring. I can just do some magic. But now having to use pure fundamentals and having people who are using good fundamentals back, every fucking roll's a workout. And I feel so much better for it. The training's just got way more honest. I think again I had it in a conversation today. So, and this is like I think the final thing we should talk about because of hitting that sweet spot for that podcast time is this is to everyone who's interested in these kind of ideas. So say you're from a normal jiu-jitsu school, and this is the problem with the whole fucking thing that we're doing. We've just explained that those are the fundamentals of jiu-jitsu. But say someone walks into the room and you're going to teach him jiu-jitsu, where do you start? And that's a problem. Because you're probably just going to go back to the normal shit. Oh, well, here's close guard.
Yeah, I was going to say close guard.
Here's side control. Here's mount. And that's the part that makes this difficult is even knowing all this, we knew this. And Christian Gragot said it really well at the Arizona camp a couple of years ago. He was like, he'd spent years, a good 20 years doing jiu-jitsu, and all of a sudden, Preet finally broke through to him and convinced him on Running Man. And he was like, fuck, well, how am I supposed to teach side control now? Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, like, how do you go about teaching all the shit that you know is good when you have someone new? And that's why I think we should make the documentary. It's going to be an instructional documentary on how to implement no jiu-jitsu. Anti-jiu-jitsu. Crack that and you're laughing. Yeah. I mean, I know you obviously run your own gym as well. How do you go about it? How do you normally start?
Oh, mate. Since we've started been talking about this documentary, I went back to basics on Saturday. So I taught the class on Saturday. I went straight back to basics. I said, look, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. So going to teach. I started with all the basic, because I had a lot of new people join as well. So I thought, you know what, it's good time as well. And there's a few lads who've been there for like a month. So I've got a lot of beginners in there at the moment. A couple of experienced lads, but I got a new good beginner, so I was all going to trial it on them. Mate, I walked out from that session after I taught it, and I thought to myself, I flipping taught jiu-jitsu in 1 hour. Well, I taught grappling in 1 hour. Because by the end of it, like, they were wrestling, if they were hitting the ground, they were getting up. It was so fun to watch, and I was like, and now this week I'm going to teach them pummeling. Because now, they're getting close to the space. So, oh, mate, if I could have videoed that, I would have been like, I would have showed you. Like, I was so happy with what I produced in 1 hour. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, dude, it's. I think that's why we need to make it, is so that you can get that feeling for. There is a way of doing this. There is a way of absolutely breaking through the mold and going right. Where do you actually start when this makes more sense?
Yeah, I agree. Oh, mate.
Yeah, I'm excited to create that content. I'm excited to get feedback off it. We'll keep doing it with the regular videos, but I think it's an important piece of breaking out of the jiu-jitsu mold and actually incorporating these ideas from day one and getting someone up to scratch and making them useful. Because I mean, it's weird as well because we've got guys like I say who have been in and they don't know normal jiu-jitsu. They haven't learned anything normal. They don't know what guard is. They don't know what side control is. They just know, I need to hold you the fuck down. Get ahead of your hips and hold down your shoulders to the floor. Get in your armpits. I know I need to keep my balance and not fall over and pull my bottom leg free to stand up if that happens. That's all they fucking know. And they are so good already to do it.
They're relentless. So relentless.
Yeah. And it makes it more accessible for people because you again I know you've heard it as much as I have. When you have someone who jumps in that first day and they won't, well, of course I'm losing, I don't know what I'm doing. Well, yeah, in a normal jiu-jitsu world that's absolutely true. Like, click like on where the hell you're reading this if you've heard that one before or said it. But it's when you are presented with magic, you're like, well, yeah, I don't know magic yet. How am I supposed to win? I don't know magic. But this gives context from day one.
Yeah.
Don't fall over. Be upright. If I can't take you down, if you get on the floor, get the fuck up like it's hot lava. There you go. If you keep your hips higher than mine, you're a winner. I'm not going to use submissions on you either. We're just going to do this, and you can interpret that. That's pretty easy. Just keep doing it. Yeah, I'm excited for a weeknight's going to be a bit difficult to find the time for doing it because I don't want to take time off everyone else. But this documentary, I'm excited for making it. So please keep visiting the YouTube channel and listen to the podcast for how that's going to go. The book, I'm going to have to start writing it, aren't I? Okay. That's going to be happening. So yeah, anyone on the Patreon who's supporting, you won't be forgotten. There is obviously new content coming out for that. There is new content coming over the YouTube for this weekend. Also with Naki, he's got his own channel coming out now, so expect some Jefe violence. Any final thoughts?
Any final thoughts? It's been good. I'm loving it, man. These questions. I think we should do this more often because it just puts you on the spot, and you're like, oh shit, I got an answer now. Have I really got any jiu-jitsu knowledge or what?
Yeah, man. Yeah. How's life in general? How's everything else?
Life is good. I never complain, mate. I get on with it. You know me.
Good.
You never see me stressed.
No. Oh, dude. Speaking of stressed, again, if it hasn't reached anyone else's kind of attention, if you listen to on podcasting platforms, you wouldn't know it. But right behind my head on the YouTube channel is a shrine of gaming. I'm a gaming nerd. Probably because if I do like Google podcast, jiu-jitsu podcasting, jiu-jitsu videos, jiu-jitsu classes, jiu-jitsu privates, I can end up doing about 8 or 9 hours of jiu-jitsu a day. So I get home and I do not think about jiu-jitsu. I game a lot. And I pick things that are stressful because I need to also find things that are stressful, like jiu-jitsu, apparently. So I've been... If anyone's like playing Armored Core right now, it's fantastic. It took me 4 hours on a single boss. Just rinse and repeat, like dying every minute. I must have died over 100 times. I'm like, this is jiu-jitsu. This is drilling. This is problem solving. Game ain't helping me. It's giving me everything I fucking need. This is, again, so I find it so interesting to like, incorporate like both these kind of styles. So it didn't give me, like, I didn't go get a guide or anything like that. I was like, right, I need to beat this motherfucker. I've been given the tools to do it. I need to figure this shit out. And I'll learn my way through it. I said it in a private today, actually, is that, again, Ryan Hall, I'm going to blow smoke up that guy's ass forever. He said at school, like, you get rewarded more for having a good memory. Like, you do revision, you just remember the answer, apply the answer. But as an adult, critical thinking is way more important.
Yeah.
Like, being able to be creative and figure your way out of shit. It's a fucking skill you have to learn to be a successful adult. And normal jiu-jitsu is, normally taught in the memorization way. Yeah. Remember what the answer to this is. If you see this, remember this is the answer. Instead of giving people the space and time, I really fucking mean time, to go, right, here's a puzzle, think your way out of it. And if you think of your way out of it, you'll understand it deeper. And, it's exactly gaming. You are given problems. You're given everything you fucking need. Figure your way out of it. If it takes you fucking 4 hours, fine. We'll give you the time to do it. But by the end of it, you'll understand it deeper. You may have to get a little bit of help. That's absolutely fine. And sharing ideas is good. But that's why these things work. That's why they teach. That's how they teach you the mechanics, is by giving you puzzles and structures and letting you figure the fuck out. And it's very easy as a coach to feel that you have to always give content all of the time. Don't. I just sit there, drink coffee, watch.
Yeah. I'm witness.
Everyone's so happy.
And I copy.
Yeah, and everyone's got better for it. I coach less and everyone got better.
Yeah.
Figure that shit out. Yeah, so that's just my little bit of excited gaming for the week.
Nice.
Yeah, if anyone's playing Armored Core 6, just message me because I'm geeking out about this shit right now. Fucking loving it. Just getting my ass handed to me repeatedly. Anyway, expect new content over the weekend. We're on it now. We're on it now. We've been making so many podcasts. Well, we've been consistent since May.
Yeah.
Let's see if we continue for a whole year. Being consistent.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude,
I think we could do it.
I'll see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Everyone else, thank you for tuning in to the Villain Cast Reap the Week. Oh, my finger's turned off.